Your eyes don't deceive you. I'm standing on top of a picnic table right now. Almost all of the bottom part of it is completely covered and buried in sand and shells. They brought their signs out. I'm going to step out of the way now so you can see a better look at just how incredible this line of people is. It stretches all the way down the park. Why should anybody believe that you should have custody of your daughter? Dennis tells us charges should be dropped against her son and son-in-law.
I believe they're innocent of this. Now, being gay, no, they're gay. You know.
Well, it's not a crime to be gay.
No.
It's a crime to
no, but a lot of
sex
people
traffic teenage boys.
Absolutely.
Escalante returns to court again in June, this time for a trial. And until then, she's trying to clean up her name and her life. You just take a look over my shoulder and you can see a very obvious and strong presence of green algae in this water here. Deputies say Angela Goldberg drove her car straight through it. That bus driver now under investigation after students hit record on the entire thing. They believe that he is running somewhere down these train tracks. Security cameras at the numerous banks he's accused of robbing show him handing notes to the tellers demanding money. Investigators say he got away with it at least 4 times. Why would anybody feel safe being around him?
Well, outside of this happening, everybody's safe around him. I still feel safe around him.
What do you mean outside of it happening? It happened. After seeing I had been waiting for them, a woman and convicted sexual predator Timothy Rice booked it into their house. I came to the door and the woman spoke for him.
Get off our property, you're trespassing, and we have no comment.
Pretty serious charges against his name.
They are misdemeanor charges.
What about when he was convicted of being a sexual predator back in the 90s, of molesting girls at a pool?
That was 24 years ago.
So that makes it okay?
It doesn't happen now.
These spots of downtown Fort Myers aren't really much besides unused lots of grass, but in about 2 years, city leaders are hoping this will be bustling with visitors once the new hotel officially opens up. Our short journey led us here to one of the area's worst yet unknown illegal dumping spots. Look at this boat. It has been here for so long, there's even a tree growing out of it. Detectives with the Lee County Sheriff's Office have been out here for more than 10 hours now. First-class trucking still shut down this evening, according to this document from the city of Fort Myers, listed for 12 different code enforcement violations. If you look over there, you could see that the company is still cleaning up right now. They face accusations of running an illegal drainage system, having no certificate of occupancy, not paying any city business taxes, keeping abandoned untagged vehicles, and illegal dumping, among several other violations. Doing some more research of my own, I found out that city code enforcement have been frequent visitors here over the past 3 years. Jacques Allen ripped down the Fort Myers code violation notice, proudly holding up his new property cleanup permit as we approached him today. The first-class trucking owner compared his situation to the President of the United States.
Donald Trump keeps telling you all the time, report fair news, you need to do that. Fair news.
Allen is talking about my report from yesterday on his business's code violations, where we recorded video of numerous oil puddles on the property, along with other trash and filth. Plus, we got him on camera saying this.
I'm not here to fight with the city. I'm going to comply.
And then minutes later, shouting at police and code enforcement officers.
This is not legal. I have to go to court first. I could do anything on my property.
The camera doesn't lie, and neither does a quick search of Allen's name on the Fort Myers City Code database. There, I found he was cited 6 other times here before yesterday, and confirmed he still owes the city $11,000 total for 2 previous code violations from 2 years ago. I gave Allen one last chance to defend himself on camera, and this is what he said.
Listen to me. Call Donald Trump, tell him that whatever you're doing to him, you're doing it to me.
Allen assures us he pays city business taxes from his home because he, quote, runs his business from his house. But this report from Fort Myers Code Enforcement shows he gave them a home address in the city of Cape Coral, not Fort Myers. So he now has exactly 29 more days to get his property here up to speed on city code. And I actually confirmed today as well that the Florida Department of Environmental Protection is also now involved in this investigation. I'm reporting live in Fort Myers, Joe Putrelo, NBC2.
Yeah!
The big mood this week on Fort Myers Beach, whether you're on spring break or living your best life at home where others vacation.
It's the second bachelorette party we've had down here. both very successful.
But lately there's been a cringe-worthy smell wafting about the air.
It does smell like rotten boiled eggs.
Yeah.
You know when you like boil your eggs? It's like that, but like worse. This time when we walked out here, we were like, what is all of this?
This lines the shore of the beach, stretching for miles. Even when you walk into the water, there's almost no avoiding its slimy touch.
What it is it's drift algae. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Marine biologists tell us drift algae comes around whenever the Gulf cools down and plant life overgrows in the water. Freshwater releases from Lake Okeechobee and low oxygen levels in the water also play parts in this. It's not toxic like red tide algae blooms.
But I've been told you probably don't want to eat it.
I'll try not to.
Traffic to the beach is as busy as you'd expect around this time.
Yeah.
And businesses like the Mango Street Inn say the drift algae hasn't affected them so far.
I mean, we've been here 11 years, and you see it come and go.
The one thing experts couldn't tell us about it is when it will go away for good.
Just get rid of it.
Yeah, get it out of here.
Come pick it up, someone.
And the drift algae hasn't stopped people from coming out here to Fort Myers Beach. You can see it is still packed out here. It's been packed all day long. I did go to the Fort Myers Beach Town Hall to try to ask town leaders what can be done about this stuff. They said they'd actually need to apply for a permit from the state to send a crew to pick it all up. And then other than that they couldn't answer any questions or make any more comments because they didn't have time for it. I'm reporting live on Fort Myers Beach. Joe Putrelo, NBC2. The house cleaner says the whole thing caused a wide mix of emotions for her, from scared to, hey, this is pretty cool.
I come today like I think it's gonna be normal day.
Today, the word normal became abstract. Thanks to this more than 9 feet long beast of a visitor. Burbank's neighbor saw it and rushed to the door.
He say have some alligator in the garage, so I just stay like, what?
Florida Fish and Wildlife showed up for a showdown with the alligator. It didn't surrender without a fight. It tossed and turned to break free.
They hold like this is nothing for them. Normal, it's another alligator for they. I say, oh my gosh, I just, unbelievable.
But this is the end of the road for the gator, literally. FWC says it's being turned into meat and using the hide. Neighbors tell us with all the ponds around their community, seeing a roaming gator isn't uncommon.
We are out here in the middle of nowhere, and it's paradise for everybody, really.
But for now, life here can go back to normal.
You see that God protect you in the little things. Today I feel like this.
FWC says when the weather gets as hot as it is, you'll see gators moving around more. Just hopefully they don't end up in your garage. I'm live in the studio, Joe Putrelo. Good evening, I'm Joe Putrelo. Breaking right now at 6. The man who shot himself at a Cape Coral gun shop has died. We know a 20-year-old man died and 3 teens went to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. We're continuing our live team coverage of that developing tropical system heading towards our area. New video tonight of the damage caused by a 7.5 magnitude earthquake in Indonesia. We've confirmed that more than 800 people are dead at this time. A trend of drug trafficking is leading investigators to bust people for some of the most dangerous drugs out there. The Department of Defense is doubling down on its plans of securing the U.S.-Mexico border. Meanwhile, a woman was killed after she was hit by an oncoming driver. Here's pictures from the scene this morning. A familiar face takes on a new position here in Lee County. Tomorrow morning, Lee County Under Sheriff Carmine Marcino will be sworn in as the new sheriff. That's beautiful. I feel like that's a perfect wedding for you, McDevitt, the sports guy.
All right, if you're...
She loves Florida. She loves the beach. So maybe if you see this later, hi, Mom.
That's awesome.